YouTube, welcome back to another video with your boy Scoop. As y'all can see by today's title, we have Streamer University was not what people thought it was. I ain't gonna lie to y'all know Streamer University is coming up. It's approaching like real soon. Further ado, let's get straight into it, man.
About a year ago, KaiSenet had arguably the biggest streamer event that we've seen in modern times. He invited a bunch of random content creators and some of his friends to a college campus in order to launch what was known as Streamer University. And although there was a ton of chaos that happened, for the most part, it was arguably one of the best things that happened for a lot of content creators. Now, doing something unprecedented like this would cause for unprecedented criticism, but I don't think that people really realized how much that Streamer University will go on to do so much good for the streaming world, and it will ultimately go on to change some of the streamers that were in its lives.
If you try to recreate someone's whole flow, like let's say you try to do the DDG, it's not gonna work this time. If something pops one time, that method instantly gets patched.
Why do you think that Streamer U gets such a bad rep?
Because y'all didn't get in.
Here we go. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. Come tag along for
Subscribe to my boy.
University, right? And we could build a bigger and greater community along the way. Now, back into the video. When KaiSenet announced his Streamer University, a lot of people thought it was the end all be all for streamers new coming into the space. They thought if they were to get on in this sort of event, they would have the finish line as opposed to a good starting point. And thus started the disingenuous grading scale of what KaiSenet could do for people in the streaming space. And a year later, people are looking back at Streamer University and calling it nothing but a success. And I honestly don't think it's fair. One tweet that I saw asked if there was any notable creator that had come from this event. And truly and honestly, maybe they don't know, but there have been a lot of resounding successes from Streamer University. First and foremost, Yana was technically on Drake's album. I don't know how that can't be viewed as some sort of success. Then I would say somebody like Extra Emily benefited directly from Streamer University, having people notice her, i.e. The Weeknd's producer, notice her directly from Streamer University.
And The Weeknd knows who you are. I promise on my life, he knows who you are.
He does!
The reason why I know, because he was at my studio last year. He was recording something, and he was watching SU, and he was like, oh, I like her perspective of SU and how she was walking around with the selfie stick all alone by herself.
And somebody like Tota arguably is the biggest streamer to come out of Streamer University, not just landing him thousands upon thousands of viewers from being somebody who had a low viewer count, but also having the opportunity to join streamer group The Clover Boys. DDG went from niche internet fame to fully mainstream. Blasian Baby Lola pivoted into a more corporate setting. Lala Baptiste, Jay Cinco, Arky, they all built real audiences from Streamer University. People benefited tremendously from the opportunity to come together, create content with one another, collaborate with like-minded individuals, and ultimately be broadcasted to a new, wider audience. Now,
I ain't gonna lie, yo. When Streamer University had happened, I ain't gonna lie, it was W streams. Not gonna lie, like everybody was streaming. Everybody was streaming. It was so much going on. You go on to one stream, then you go to another stream. I ain't gonna lie, it was definitely peak content, like W content.
I believe that those streamers mentioned definitely did Streamer University right, and they took advantage of what was to come afterwards. But there were some what people would perceive as the downsides of Streamer University, and the aftermath of it changed the streaming industry completely.
Streaming is dying out. You know what I'm saying?
Streaming.
Hell yeah.
Everybody want to be streamers now, man.
Streaming is like, it just became so oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, me personally, from a creator standpoint, I feel like once Streamer University came, it everything up. It made the numbers feel unreal. Like back then, niggas having 7,000, bro. When you had 7,000 like a year ago, bro, that's like equivalent to a nigga having 60,000 right now.
Now, I think a little bit of context needs to be added. First and foremost, during Streamer University, somebody like a DDG hit 200,000 live views, and everyone was about at 15K to 30K. So 500 to 1,000 viewers, it almost seemed like it wasn't impressive anymore. I do think that the goalpost moved, but most importantly, out of a Streamer University, I saw so many people want to hop into streaming. Now, I think it's worth noting Jay Cinco was at Streamer University and definitely monetized off of it. He's just pointing out the fact that people showed up to the gold rush that he got in early on. But that's basically how every single gold rush works. People see this thing blow up in the space and then everyone rushes to do it. Most of them doing it with half-assed attempts, to be quite honest with you. If you go back and look at all those people who bought phones after Streamer University, some of your favorite content creators who stepped into streaming, and just some people who tweeted, I wanted to get into streaming right out of Streamer University, a lot of them aren't doing it now. A lot of them have totally stopped. A lot of them have fallen off wholeheartedly. Now, most of these people are probably looking for an opportunity to uplift themselves from whatever financial burdens that they had, not understanding how real of a task and job streaming actually is. They thought it was
my bad to cut him off and my bad to keep pausing, but I ain't gonna lie. If you get an opportunity like this, like, you about to lock in. Like, ain't no playing. If you got to stream from morning to night just to get views, go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me, if I get accepted, oh, I'm locked in. I might just not cut off stream. I might just have to stream the whole week.
Something that could be fun, monetizable, and taken lightly. But it's actual serious hard work. One where you have to devise a plan and a strategy that leads to a long and fruitful career. Or you could attempt to take the shortcut like some of these content creators did and go the whole insane attention farming type situation.
Y'all closed? I got some money for you. We are closed. I'm famous. You can't do me like that. You can't make me a taco? Damn, nigga. I can't get a chicken taco? Just make me a taco. Sit down. I give you $100.
She's still saying cool though. This a bad clip. I ain't gonna lie for you.
Wow, that's crazy. That's fucked up, man. You gonna do that in front of 20,000 people? Hey, La Berea, fuck you.
I'm not gonna lie, chicken taco does sound kind of good right now. I ain't gonna hold you. Now, on surface, this clip is kind of funny, but the problem is that she said, I'm famous, therefore you should stay open for me, therefore you should make me some sort of chicken taco. And the bigger problem is that this type of personality trait or type of content that you're going for supersedes any type of content that you're, supposed to be getting known for. They're gonna remember the arrogance. They're gonna remember the entitlement over anything. A platform like StreamerU gave Samaya the recognition, but recognition only matters if you can convert it into a real audience. This is why people connected this specific moment of Samaya to the academics criticism from a minute ago.
We know you for literally fucking a rapper. That's why we know you.
Don't ever try to do that, bitch. I went to StreamerU and all that. Don't give a fuck. Don't downplay shit I got going on.
The criticism wasn't not just that these people aren't famous. The criticism was that these people were acting like the platform had already made them stars before they actually built anything. Arguably, the worst part about Streaming University is that it gave some streamers and content creators the thought process in their mind that they were just famous enough that they didn't have to actually go out there and build an audience. And when attention doesn't turn into a real audience, some creators don't respond by actually building and growing a real audience, getting down and dirty and building up a community. No, they respond by chasing these moments, these viral moments, these things that get them clipped. And this is where you introduce a Nina Lynn situation into the mix.
And the language that you're using in front of a 13-year-old, I don't appreciate.
She's funny though, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna let you know that right now, man. This is like the most parent argument. I cannot. What the hell? 1, 2. Sir, do not be recording.
I'm saying that
it's just me. It's just me. We got no one else on there. 1, 2. Fuck. Bitch. Shit.
Now follow me. For what it's worth, Nina Lynn and Samaya are not the same example at all. Samaya is somebody who represents entitlement after the attention. Nina Lynn, on the other hand, represents chasing attention after the spotlight starts fading. When you go to an event like a Streamer University and you're surrounded by all these other streamers, your numbers look more huge than what they actually are. They look inflated. And so coming back from a Streamer University back to your hometown, people were chasing that high again. People were chasing that feeling as the numbers dwindled down. But instead of, planning out different collaborations with content creators, they sought the fast track. They did whatever they needed to do to get people looking again. But the problem is that people looking again doesn't mean that people actually care. Drama can create a viral moment for what it's worth, but it doesn't mean that you have some sort of loyal audience. In fact, it probably will create the opposite effect. It'll create a loyal audience of people trying to see you fail. And then after that, the controversy becomes the brand. That right there is the trap. StreamerU gave Nina Lynn a chance to create a lane, but the lane that she decided is something that people will mostly remember her for being controversial in. But not every failure looks loud and messy. Some people didn't crash the moment. They just let the moment pass them by. India Love presents a different type of missed opportunity. She already had the name recognition going into the event, so her issues weren't exposure. I've known India Love since about 2014 back in the Tumblr days. Her issue was more so about conversion. If you take a look at this screenshot, India Love had great viewership coming from Streamer University, but it dwindled and it dwindled fast.
Peak, hold on, my bad. I keep cutting them off and I'm trying not to pause too much for y'all. Look at these numbers. Like, this peak viewers right here, that's almost 100,000. And then she gained 600 in that, week? That's tough. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough.
Love had great viewership coming from Streamer University, but it dwindled, and it dwindled fast. One of the reasons why is because she most likely did not have any sort of identity or characteristic that would have people coming back to her streams and her content. Most of the time, she just decided to tether herself to a male streamer in the space, most notably DDG. And we all know how that ended up in her most notable moment post Streamer University.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt, and congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai, shout out. Blah, 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 blah.
This was an opportunity for her to reposition herself. I can remember before Streamer University, Zoe Spencer came to the internet talking about how there weren't a lot of spaces for women to succeed without them being tethered to the guys. And I've talked about that multiple times on this channel before. And India Love was put in a unique opportunity. She was positioned to separate herself from the pack and then ultimately embrace a whole different lane that streaming hadn't really tapped into.
I can't really say that because I watch a lot of female streamers now and they don't really be around guys. Like, for example, like Extra Emily, like I'm subscribed to her, and she got a good personality. She funny, you know, she outgoing. So hey, you can't really say that. It all depends on just, you know, the content you put out. If you always around guys, then that's the content that's the content that they're gonna be used to. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't really do that. She never separated herself. She never made a lane for herself. She never really took the opportunity to stand out and maybe even galvanize some of the young women in the streamer space. I would say that people left her streams not knowing what to expect. And that's probably true for the individual streams. But for the streams where she did exactly what she did, they put her in the box of a pick-me, which, hey, rightfully so. But at the end of the day, it was a missed opportunity because she didn't sever that tie to the existing fan base that was already there, that wasn't really there for her. So then anytime she had a moment, people would react, people would make their think pieces, but ultimately people would move on. And I could go on and on about different examples from Streamer University, but once you look at all of them, Ray's point becomes the part that explains the entire thing.
Yeah, if we got part two, how to tell you? We not getting in, bro. If they're streaming you part two, I'm telling you, bro. Whoever go back the first time, you're not going back this time, bro. How do I tell you, bro? It's over, bro. There's no way letting people from streaming you first go to a second. Like, there's no point.
Ray is stating here that Kai Cenat is not inviting the past streamers from Streamer University, the alumni, back into the program because it's not some sort of crutch. It's not some sort of permanent support system. It was a launch pad. That means that the event in and of itself was temporary at best. You're not going to be that one alumni that's always hanging around the college campus, whether it's during homecoming or even past homecoming, trying to relive the glory days with your varsity jacket that you've clearly outgrown, still hitting on the girls at the local college bar. That's weird. That's disgusting, gang. What you were supposed to do post Streamer University is take the clips, take the moments, take the attention, take all that opportunity and start building something when you were on your own. Because if your career only works when there's a Kai Cenat backed event, then ultimately you didn't build a career. You just built dependency. You built another place and space for Kai Cenat to succeed, but not one in which you can thrive on your own or with collaborating with some of your peers that are also alumni.
I still think what he did last year holds weight today. Really? Yeah, Streamer University created how many, you know how much like further that pushed Streamer University and how many like careers spawned off of that?
Like, yeah, he could probably chill there for a minute.
Anyone making any sorts of criticisms about what happened to any of the streamers from Streamer University, are there any successful ones, is being totally 100% disingenuous. And I think it's two reasons why they do this. One, I think it is a part to shade Kai Cenat because the internet's gonna take an opportunity to shade him regardless. But two, and I think more importantly, just because it doesn't exist on your timeline doesn't mean that it did not happen. So I've taken the opportunity to have conversation with a couple of alumni from Streamer University to ask about their experience during the process and after to truly understand if they were or were not successful, or answer the age-old question, was Streamer University a waste? Marcus, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Omeezy?
Hello, I'm Kai Woods, and I am a Streamer University alumni.
So the reason why I've asked you for this today is because maybe 5 days ago, it was the year anniversary of Streamer U.
Yep.
Shouts out to the Streamer U alums. Now, your walk is a little bit different because you were already in the space with the quote unquote big boys before Streamer U. But I want to know, after Streamer U, how has your life changed?
It's kind of been the same in the sense, because like how you said, I was already around the people, but it's just the obvious viewership increase that I've been able to maintain. Because I still wasn't, even though I was around them, I still was a small streamer before that. So yeah, so I would say obviously the viewership increase, which comes with, you know, the financial bonus and shit like that. So I would say that, because I didn't get too many clips off like some of the you know, the bigger guys. So it's not like I took off like Yana, this, that, and the third.
How have things been just in general since Streamer U?
Honestly, amazing. I feel like life has been so active. I low-key didn't even realize it's been a whole year since, because I don't think I've ever been this busy in my life.
Oh, wow. Is this with just different opportunities that come with being more visible in the space now?
Yeah, I think different opportunities and also like a different drive. Like whenever you see how people move as a bigger creator behind the scenes, especially, you start to realize like, oh, I'm not putting in as much work as I thought I was. It's like the planning, the execution, the editing, the meetings, the like conceptualization of ideas. Like you don't realize that all of this is happening, because whenever they show up on camera, they're just there to entertain. They're not there to tell you about the logistics of being a streamer or like being a content creator in general. So like being able to see that without them trying to entertain an audience made me realize like, oh, I gotta lock in more. I gotta do more. I gotta push harder. So I've been like trying to like apply a lot of those ideas myself. And ever since then, just always editing, always recording, always doing something different.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's a grind, but I value what you're saying. When you see others are doing good things, great things, the only thing that you can do, well, you can do two things. You can elevate, or you can say, well, maybe that's too much for me. I just don't need to be a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like realizing that you have access to the method. It's like, okay, now do I want to be that tired? Do I want to implement that? Yeah. It's been a slow implementation for me, because I'm like, I don't want to burn out, but it's been very satisfying.
Now, this is some of the controversial questions that people have about Streamer U. How come we aren't seeing more people that attended Streamer U be successful?
That's not something I've thought about too much, because I feel like everybody kind of, you know, it benefited a lot. There are some people that, you know, probably didn't see too much benefit after it, but a lot of it could be preparation. I think a lot of people didn't, or maybe didn't know like what to do after. Like, even if you do get this increase of viewership, what to do after, how to capitalize on it after. It's still it put people in the right rooms, in the right doors, and I did think it served a purpose. But if you're kind of just thrown into the lion's den without, you know, really expecting, you know, I feel like a lot of people would just kind of trying to find the, you know, the most respect for what he said, but you'll kind of fizzle out a little bit because, you know, just not being prepared. Because I mean, even me, I didn't know what to fully expect, and because I was a smaller streamer, it was rocky for me off like just starting just from the type of person I am. So yeah, I think it was a culture shock for a lot of people, not really knowing what to do after it. And yeah, there was a lot of people that did know what to do, and they took full advantage of it. So yeah, I think that's what I would say.
I was talking to another person that I interviewed, and they were saying that, like, you know, a lot of these people, just because you don't see them doesn't mean that they're not successful. And then also, like, who defines what success is? Somebody may now be more consistent than they were, and even if it's not at the height or numbers of 500, 600, 1,000 live viewers, ultimately though, just being consistent is much better than where they were when they first started, where they were a little inconsistent.
Yeah, and then also, I know I built a little following on my social media, and before I built that little following, I told myself, like, I'm gonna stay consistent that whole 365 days. If I don't blow, I'ma still be happy with me, you know, locking in and grinding and staying consistent, because I know eventually I will blow, or either, you know, I'm seeing growth. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it definitely worked. Like, being consistent, as long as you stay consistent, I'm telling you, you will blow. It might take you a while, it might take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, it might take you a week or a month, but as long as you stay consistent, I'm telling you, definitely helps. Definitely helps.
Consistent. But they also might be killing like Instagram, Snapchat, all these other things like that too.
I think people forget that Twitch is one of the hardest platforms to grow, maintain, and see success in regardless. I mean, even people going from 0, even if you're at 100, 200, even if you're at 50, like all of that is a win, because without getting that boost, like it really is, it's not impossible obviously, but it is very hard, especially with how many people is trying to stream now, to go from nothing to even a little bit. Like it is super hard. So even if you went to StreamerU and you came back and you average 50 viewers, you're still,
that's still good.
A very high percentage of people on Twitch, because most people on Twitch, like majority of people on Twitch are streaming to nobody right now. Yeah, it really just depends. Most people think of success, they were expecting everyone to graduate StreamerU and average 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 plus, but that's in itself just,
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, listen, I'm streaming just like I got a whole audience. I'm streaming like I got 100 people watching me right now. Cause I know eventually I will, have them 100 people in there, and I'll be good. I'm good with this. You know what I'm saying?
To do regardless.
How come we aren't seeing more people that attended Streamer University being successful?
I think it's because everyone's metric of success is different. Like I know people that aren't as active on socials that are like buying properties because their money's up. It's like, because it was called Streamer University, everyone will see you on like TikTok Live or on Twitch. And they're like, why are your numbers so low? Like, what was it even all for? Meanwhile, like you're actually getting millions of impressions on your Instagram, and you're getting millions of impressions on your TikToks, and you're getting invited to hang out with their favorite creators. So it's like, whenever you put that into perspective, it's like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. I always remind myself that there are people who make a living on content that I'll never know their names. I'll never know what they create. So it's like, just because we were introduced to a certain audience doesn't mean that was the audience that we necessarily belong to. Like that wasn't our niche. I'm no Kai Cenat. Like I'm the first person to admit that I don't have that energy, and I don't have those ideas, and my personality doesn't fit into that. Whenever I was chasing that right off of Stream University, all I did was deplete my money and burn myself out, and realize like, oh, I like IRLing, but like I don't need to like do it at this level, or I don't need to do these ideas specifically, because that's not my audience. That's not what I'm looking for. So I think a big part of it too is just like, we're not in your algorithm because you don't like our content. And I think that's fine. Like, because we have our audiences and we have our people, and the internet is so vast. So I think a lot of people are just like really in their zones, and it's not that they're not creating, it's just that they're in a different like area of the algorithm.
I think people forget that the internet is so big. So just because you're not seeing me doesn't mean that I'm not working until one day, like I pop back up on your algorithm, and then, I've got this going on, that going on. And you're probably like, oh, wow, I haven't seen this person for years. But
yeah, exactly. And it's like those people that people expect us to be around on camera, sometimes we don't fit into their content, but like behind the scenes, like a lot of the people from SU, especially like the professors, have been so incredibly helpful with like mentoring me over the course of this year. So it's like, just because I'm not popping out on a stream doesn't mean that those people aren't still helping me elevate my content to fit what I want to do for the rest of my life, basically.
Why do you think StreamerU continues to get such a bad rep?
I mean, if I'm be honest, as glazed as it sounds, I think most of it is just because it's under Kai's name. Like if this was another streamer's idea that doesn't get as much hate, then I don't think it would see that much. And then I think a little bit of it too is there, like a lot of people will fuel the fire for the hate because they weren't picked. So some niggas are just like, it was some niggas that weren't even going to give it a chance, even though they were going to watch it, but they don't even give it a chance to praise it, because if niggas had super dreams, because there's a lot of people that for some reason, and I'm seeing it now, for if he does a second one, I'm seeing niggas post now where they think this is like end all be all. Like I'm seeing people hit me up like, damn, like they think like if I don't hit this, then like it's over with. So it's like it's people like that was like, okay, I need this so bad, I don't get it, and then okay, I'm just gonna kind of join in on the hate because who are these nobodies, and it was too many famous people and this, that, and the third. So it's like it's a culmination of a lot of it, but I think most of it is because it's under Kai's name.
And it's interesting because in my research for the video, I went back and I started looking at all the people who were like, yo, I hate Kai Cenat, I hate StreamerU, I hate the people that got selected, and they should have picked the smaller guys, and they did all this complaining. I went back and saw what they did from that point till today, and there's so many of them that haven't done anything, haven't touched nothing, haven't streamed consistently since. And I'm thinking to myself, did you think that this was like your super duper put on card right here? Like StreamerU was really gonna put you there?
But I think you might be one of the first people that hasn't done that too. I think a lot of people, some of those videos popped. Like as soon as he revealed what happened, it was like a huge debate, at least on on my timeline because I mean, some of these videos were on TikTok at least were fucking hitting of people just like complaining about it, and it's too many people, too many famous people, and this shit ain't gonna hit. Da 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 da. But yeah, if you went back and did that, that will be far to look at because I already know people didn't take this opportunity to put Bill.
I'm gonna try not to call nobody's name out when I do it, but
if they want to call people out, like whenever it was time,
that's true.
Fuck it, call them niggas out because you know it's gonna be some people that might even look at other people and say, hey, you haven't streamed that much since Streamer U. Like the other mad that they didn't get the opportunity, but them niggas might have not streamed as much as the people that they saying don't stream, you know, after the opportunity. If that makes sense.
No, I think that's fair. If I call them out, what they gonna do? Stream about me? Hell, they wasn't streaming in the first place.
TikTok saying he was right.
Hey, yeah, let's do it. Let's go band for band. Why do you think that Streamer U gets such a bad rep?
Because y'all didn't get in.
Here we go.
Realistically, if you look at the people who criticize us, it's the same people that are like, I would have done better. And I feel like a major reason why I got criticism was, one, it was the first time it ever happened. Two, like that a project of that scale is crazy. Like there's no way to control over 100 people in an environment. Plus the location got leaked before we even started. Like that shit was crazy. But no, I just feel like a lot of the criticism comes from people thinking that they would have done better. And I don't know, to that, I'm always just like, just make cool content then. Because I mean, Stream University wasn't like a get rich quick kind of thing. Like I think people also forget that virality doesn't come from one moment. Like success doesn't come from one moment of virality. It comes from it stacking and like getting those opportunities. So I feel like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just upset about it. I think a lot of people are bitter that there's not a part 2 announced yet. I think that's the opinion of a lot of the alums is we're kind of like, I don't know why you're so upset about it. Cause like, if you were there, a lot of people are like, people didn't get anything out of it. We got a lot out of it. I think even people who didn't have viral moments, again, like seeing how those bigger creators move was crazy. But yeah, I really don't know why it gets so much like backlash other than that.
I do think what you said is true, that people thought just off rip that they would have been able to do more with it. But I'm gonna be quite honest with you, because it's the anniversary and that's what this whole video is about. I went back and looked at a lot of streamers or content creators or whoever that made videos at the moment saying like, oh, you know, I would have did X, Y, and Z. Went back and looked at what they did in the year. Respectfully speaking, y'all wouldn't have made it. They would have been the people that, you know, took the picture with Kai, took the picture with Duke, took the picture with Agent, and then it would have just existed in that ecosystem right there, their Instagram or their Twitter, but they wouldn't have done anything else content-wise because they didn't do anything for a year. It didn't make them hungrier. It didn't make them more motivated that they didn't get in. It kind of just said it just to say it.
I agree. And that's like, people will come into my streams all the time. How do I get into SU Part 2? I'm like, well, what have you done since SU Part 1? Because that's a big thing I always say is I'm like, don't let someone else determine when you blow up. Just grind. Who knows if you're going to need it by the time it comes back around. If you like are really producing content the way you want to. I think another thing is so many people think about getting into it that they kind of forget that content is about the love of the game. Like so many people are just waiting to blow up that it's like, just play games with your friends. Just go IRL. Just like have community, because I truly honestly believe that's why we all got in, is because, you know, first round you're like, what are the odds of me really making it or someone that I know making it? It's so slim. I'm just going to shoot my shot. Like I love doing content and I've been doing it regardless. And I think that's why we got in. I think more people should just care about content instead of caring about the opportunities that you might get from it.
Last question. If you could give advice to someone attending in the future.
I think one of the first things is people have to take what they saw from the first one and apply it. And obviously in your own way. If you try to recreate someone's whole flow, like let's say you try to do the DDG, it's not gonna work this time. If something pops one time, that method instantly gets passed. Obviously, like, you know, girl content is gonna hit on the next one too. Like, so it's gonna be separate themes and shit, but you're gonna have to bring your own sauce, your own flavor, and not just like don't just go in that bitch and say, I'm just gonna do exactly what Rakai did last time so I can try to get 200,000 views. I mean, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to bring your own sauce, bring your own flavor, be you, because even whenever you leave that, you're gonna have to uphold, like, you're gonna have to, like, if people attach to something, they're gonna have to want to keep seeing that. Another thing is know that you are being thrown into, like, just be prepared to be thrown into the lion's den. Like, just know the Clippers are going to be outside, and if they saw a certain situation, like when people are bullying people, trust and believe, like them clips hit, trust they will be sniping for that same shit. So just know you might get bad clips. You got to know how to navigate it. Don't let it fuck your vibe up. Like, yeah, stay ready. I mean, it's gonna be some weird people that's clipping shit just trying to get themselves a banger, this, that, and the third. So be ready for that. And niggas have got to worry about your post Streamer U strategy. What do do you do after that? Look at the people that obviously took off after it. What did they do? And then how do you kind of apply that? Obviously without biting one for one. I hate people that bite one for one, but add your creative spin to what, look at the people that did take off, look at the people that you would think are successful after it, and how can you apply that to your everyday stream after that? Because it's gonna have to be the hardest that you've ever worked after that. Like as soon as stream views is done, there is no chilling, there is no damn that was a lot. It's none of that. It's gonna have to be, you're gonna have to be posting clips, socials, collabs, literally everything. So yeah, just learn from the mistakes of all the people that went for the first time that were gonna be made, because this was the first time, you know, we went through that. So yeah, man.
W advice.
Last question. If you could give advice to someone attending in the future, what would it be?
I would say number one, schedule content out before you get there that will like air as you're in the middle of Streamer University so that your algorithm is taking off. We didn't have service while we were out there. So luckily I had videos that were scheduled, and that allowed me to get some kind of traction because I was not posting like that. I'd also say one thing I learned was you can be genuine and be ambitious at the same time. I kind of blocked myself off by being like, I don't want to be a character. And by that, I ended up like slowing down how quickly I became close with a lot of the people from SU. Like now a year later, I'm like finally hanging out with them and finally talking to people because I'm like, oh wow, like it's not clout chasey to talk to people in your network. So I just say like, don't let your fear of like misinterpretation like control how you act out there, because people are going to misinterpret you regardless. You're going to get clipped out of context. You're going to get one guide. It doesn't matter as long as you know what your goals are and who you are at the end of the day. Like that's all that matters. And also have fun. Like I like it's one of the most fun things that you'll ever do. It's a summer camp full of people that have the same interests as you, and it's just fun, bro. Like it's just nice to hang out with people that are ambitious and driven and hungry, and I'm so grateful. Like it's amazing.
I think people went into Streamer University with a bunch of misunderstandings as to what the event actually was. As powerful as I do think Kai Cenat is, Kai Cenat can't make somebody 100% famous on his own. That person needs to do their due diligence. They need to do their work. They need to have the YouTube set up, the Discords, the Twitter communities. They need to stream consistently. They need to have the creative ideas. They need to collaborate. They need to network. They need to do all those things. And for what it's worth, I do think the Streamer University gave them all of that. It's just about if they ran with it after the fact or not. And you heard that based off of the 2 interviews. Shouts out to Marcus and Kai. The people that are having this unnecessary and nasty ass criticism about whether or not Streamer University was a success or not a success just need to really take a look at the landscape as to what's going on right now in the streaming world. Post Streamer University, streaming became one of the biggest and most notable mediums of content out there in mainstream media. Everybody and their mama sparked up a Twitch account, started a YouTube account, TikTok account, and started streaming based off of Streamer University. And although some of them did not stick around, it's not necessarily because of a Kai Cenat. And some of them did stick around, and you just probably don't see them because you're not searching for them. Probably just looking for another reason to hate on Kai, to be quite honest with you. And as we sit here and wait for the next round of Streamer University, I would just like to say to any of the critics, please go back and, you know, do your due diligence. Look at yourself. And if you were somebody who were criticizing the fact that you couldn't make it, you know, maybe what are you doing to actually be invited to said event? And most importantly, work on building some sort of foundation or base to put this launching pad on. You can have the biggest boost in the world, but ultimately, if you're not willing, ready, and able to take advantage of it, then it's gonna be all for nothing, to be quite honest with you. And as we see Kai Cenat put out cryptic tweet after cryptic tweet, you can kind of believe that he's coming back better than ever, and the next Streamer University is going to be bigger than it ever was. So if you're not ready to take on that challenge that is becoming a content creator or streamer, somebody that's more consistent in the space, somebody that's willing, ready, and able to succeed, then this probably isn't the game for you. And complaining to complain ain't gonna do you no good.
Facts. Hey man,
can't do anything.
W video